So it's Danny Flexen here for Seconds Out. Delighted to be joined by Chev Clarke, unbeaten cruiserweight on the verge now of a British title shot in a few weeks' time in Leeds. Chev, how relieved, delighted, happy are you that it's finally there? You finally got that British title shot because you waited.
Yeah, I'm a patient man, ain't I?
Lucky, really.
Yeah, it's good, man. Finally, somebody wants to fight, so it's good. Give the people what they want and collect what I want, isn't it? Simple.
How frustrating has it been, not just the kind of two eliminators that you had to go through, but also that for a long part of the period you were waiting on Isaac Chamberlain, and he's now decided to go for the European title anyway?
You know, they say they give the hardest battles to the strongest soldiers, isn't it? So it just means that I'm a strong soldier. So it's a part of the game, isn't it? That's what I'm learning in this professional game. It's not like the amateurs. They're not built like the Olympic circuit. You just turn up and fight. It's more strategic here. You pick and choose who you wanna fight. I've realized. So yeah, but it's all been sorted now, and yeah, you guys will be entertained come May 25th.
With what you just said in mind, how prepared do you think you were coming out of a world-class amateur program for that side of the professional game, the politics?
I'm an open-minded person, and I adhere, and I'm willing to adjust and learn as I go. So it's just a part of the game, isn't it? So I've learned it. I've learned that. I think I was prepared. I'm kind of a strategic minded person anyway, so I understand it.
And you're big into financial responsibility as well. I know that from previous interviews and from reading your website and stuff as well. So I'm guessing that helps when you're having to kind of wait between fights, maybe not being as active as you'd like.
Yeah, of course. As you said, it's strategic, and like in the stock market, you know, they say there's a saying in the stock market. In the long run, the stock market is a voting. No, in the long run, it's a weighing machine. In the short term, it's a voting machine. So just have to be patient, and once you know the value you have in that stock, it doesn't matter what happens in the short term, because in the long term, the value will come for the most part.
And this fight at the end of May in Leeds, is that when we're going to see Chev Clarke finally show everyone his true value?
I mean, I can't predict the future. I've said this plenty of times, but you'll definitely see some things that you've not seen before, and as always, it will be explosive. It will be entertaining, and you know what I bring.
And looking at your opponent, Ellis Zorro, talented fighter. Obviously, this fight, I guess, is a benefit of the closer relationship recently between Queensberry and Matchroom. That is, he's willing to take the fight and on a Matchroom show. He's coming off a pretty demoralising defeat, albeit against someone recognised as one of the best cruiserweights in the world. How do you anticipate that could affect him going into a fight with you?
That don't bother me. That's his business, isn't it? So I just look at it like a Ryan Garcia kind of situation. So don't overlook anybody, and don't this is professional boxing, and at this weight class, it just takes one punch. So do your work, be diligent, and prepare well.
And taking that last performance from Zorro aside, what have you made of him as a fighter from what you've seen?
Just like I look at all the other fighters, somebody that can be beaten and will be beaten. So, come May 25th, you guys, I'm sure, will analyze it and break it down. It's not for me to do that prior to the fight, because talk's cheap. Free Wi-Fi.
Very good. Let's talk about the last British cruiserweight title fight, which you managed to, I think, catch the end of. You were stuck in traffic, funnily enough, I believe, on the way to the
No, no,
venue.
no, no, no.
I know.
I saw the fight. I saw the Fraser Woodley fight.
You saw the main event, yeah.
Yeah, but I never saw the fight before that. Yeah.
Yeah, because I was watching your interview earlier with Lewis from Boxing Social, and you were saying, "Oh, you heard it wasn't too great to watch, but you hadn't managed to catch it," which maybe is a blessing, I suppose, given the reports you'd had. But yeah,
Yeah.
just tell us from your point of view what happened at the end, because I know you weren't particularly involved, but I'm sure you saw what was going on.
Yeah. The key word to that whole situation is allegedly, because what was said on what was broadcast, or rather not broadcast, was that Chev was involved in a situation. Listen, I turned up there. I was with my assistant, and she didn't have access to get to where I got to in it. I was there on my own. Certain people wanted to make a whole kerfuffle. As I said, I stood there, and Vidal was there. Isaac was
Abruptly interrupted when we were talking about the fracas at ringside over the last British cruiserweight title fight that Chev Clarke wasn't involved in, but was a key witness to, you might say. And you were just telling us what was going on, that you'd kind of gone over, your assistant couldn't come with you, you saw Vidal, you saw Isaac. What played out in front of your eyes?
It's coincidental that the Zoom cut off in it, because them lot cut
Like Ben Shalom.
But basically what happened in it, I turned up and I made their show, because before that the show was terrible. So end of that's that, in it. Next question.
Do you feel they made you more of a focal point because of the cut off on Sky Sports? Because you weren't involved in the direct argument in the first place?
Yeah, I don't know. I think, yeah, I mean, definitely me being involved put more eyes on the show because of that situation. But hey, listen, nothing really happened, so it is what it is, isn't it? It is what it is.
And do you see yourself fighting either of those guys in the future? Obviously, you've got Vidal Riley's waiting for a British title shot after you, presumably, and then you've got Isaac Chamberlain bidding for the European.
Yeah, I mean, again, I can't predict the future, but it's a small circuit. Isaac had his chance to fight me as the champion, and chose not to. So don't know about that one, but for sure, Vidal might. I don't know, man. It's the future, innit? There's a lot of variables to these situations. So
Last time I interviewed Vidal, he was very complimentary about you. He said he had doubts whether Isaac Chamberlain would ever fight him, but he knew that you would. He said, you're always up for the smoke.
yeah, of course. Like, again, the pedigree is there. I've never, just to my last little bit on this, to elaborate. Listen, my first tournament for Great Britain, I fought the Olympic champion. He was Olympic champion, European champion, world champion. Yeah, and I just fought him, and there was no problem. I don't have a problem fighting people. Like, nobody can ever look at Chev and say, "Oh, like, he's scared to fight that person." So as long as everything else makes sense, I'm sure we'll fight each other.
And just on Chamberlain, he's fighting Sislak on the Selhurst Park show that BOXXER are putting on. Do you know much about Sislak? And if so, how do you think that fight goes?
I saw Sislak fight Akoli.
Yeah.
I saw his fight against McCarthy. See a couple of fights. I don't know. We'll see, man. It's cruiserweight boxing. All it takes is one punch. That's not my job to investigate and deliberate on. It's him and his team's job.
Well, if I can't get a prediction on that one, maybe I can get a prediction on the main event of that show, which is two of the best cruiserweights in the world going to battle for the WBO world title. Chris Billam-Smith and Richard Riakporhe, who fought before, of course. How do you kind of weigh that one up?
I mean, it's a thing of experience and power in it. Again, it's because it's such a, I don't know, man. I really don't know. You can always, like, people was writing off Chris against Okoli, and then look what happened. So, you know, it just comes down to who's prepared diligently, and you can't obviously write off Richard's power, and now he's a bit more experienced. To be honest, it's a 50-50 fight for me. I can't see one clearly ahead of the other. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah. All right. Well, typically kind of lazy journalist question then. How far away do you feel you are either in time or a number of fights from that level, from challenging for world titles in your own right?
When you said there was two of the best in the world fighting on that card, I was wondering who he's talking about because he never mentioned me. So, yeah, that's my answer to that. Anyway.
Two of the best. That doesn't mean you're not one of them as well. But yeah, I'm sorry I misspoke.
Well, no, listen. Again, I'm sure in due time you will see. Not too far away. As long as everything else makes sense. Yeah, I'm there and thereabouts. Why not?
Do you feel an urgency? Do you feel like you want to get there fast?
Why would I want to get there fast?
Well, because you've already waited around for ages for the British title, you might want to feel you want to crack on. You might be frustrated. I don't know. That's what I'm asking.
I'm a 8-fight novice. So, I still got to get my experience, right?
How many fights you had in the amateurs?
But you can't. You see, you guys pick and choose when you use that, right? Because again, with what's his name from Ireland, the young guy that stuck his finger up at the Olympics.
Oh, Mick Conlon.
See, when Mick turned over, you guys were like gassing him up, but then Mick had a couple unfortunate situations, and he was just like, "Good amateurs don't make great pros." So yeah, give me my time. Let me do my thing. Yeah.
Some amateurs make great pros. Not all amateurs can make the transition.
All I'm saying is, give me my time. Just let me do my thing.
Do you
and
feel
I'll do it well.
On that subject, though, in terms of some make good pros, some don't, do you feel like you already had quite a pro-suited style as an amateur?
Allegedly, I have. There's a lot of people a lot of people had said that as an amateur. So, yeah.
But do you think that?
I don't know. I just apply myself to the situation that I'm in. So, whoever I'm fighting, I apply myself and do what I need to do to win. So if I'm fighting an amateur, I'll adapt an amateur style. If I'm fighting a pro, I'll adapt a pro style. Do you know what I mean? So it's not a one size fit all thing.
And we've seen some of the more recent amateurs, stars from GB that have turned over, still working up at the EIS in Sheffield with Rob McCracken and those coaches, Lauren Price, Karis Artingstall, Galal Yafai. Would you have liked that to have been an option when you turned over?
Who said it wasn't?
Was it an option when you turned over then?
You just never know these things, isn't it?
That's why I'm asking you.
Listen, I can show you better than I can tell you. GB has been great to me over the years, and I can go there whenever I want to do things. They've been very gracious to me. So, yeah, I'll leave it at that.
I don't know if that was showing me better than you can tell me, but I sense you're not going to tell me, so I'll take that one on the chin.
Don't take things on the chin. This is boxing. We don't do that around here.
Good point. I'll keep it tucked. All right. Just before I let you go, just remind people out there how they can find you on the various social media platforms and they can find out a bit more about you in advance of the big show.
Name is Chev Clarke at C4 CHEV on all social media platforms. C4 CHEV. Yeah.
And Chev, if you wanted to have a conversation that was real, but the word real on its own wasn't enough, what would you make it?
Authentic.
Oh, you killed it. Killed it.
I'll make it really real.
That's like the verbal equivalent of pieing me. Do you know what I mean? But...
No, hey, I said it at the beginning. Okay.
Really real, mate. Really appreciate it. Good luck, and see you soon.
Yes, sir. Have a good one.
And you take care.